Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of The Outer Worlds. We've picked up the caffeinoid pills for Nyoka, so we're going to go and hand those in to her in just a moment, but we're going to continue exploring the rest of Stellar Bay before we... here's left field tossball betting. Just before we head on round there. Now, can I get away with...
Okay.
just grabbing the little bits on the corner while no one's looking. Right. So, tossball betting. It's an actual legitimate betting place. We're going to have a chat with Nell. I think that's probably smart. I'm wondering if we could steal from any of the punters. We probably could, but we're not going to get much worthwhile from it. I'm not going to steal from the cash register while there's people watching. Nothing down in the bin. Alright, let's have a chat with Nell.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games.
And not so much.
So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths.
I play for Auntie Cleo's Darlings. Don't you recognize me?
I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch?
I love lying to people. This is part of a goodwill tour of Halcyon. We're meeting our fans across the colony.
Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you?
Well, now I need some info. So, I found this betting slip in Dead Man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
Okay, well, what do his teeth have anything to do with?
They were pretty distinct. Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise.
Alright.
Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money.
Yeah, that's a unfortunate series of events. Who did he owe?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town,
Okay,
drop
so we're gonna have
supplies
to go
off
to
behind the
Fallbrook.
warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Okay, thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Cool, well,
If it isn't
is
the
there
famous
anything else we
hacker
can talk to
enjoying
Nell
Stellar
about?
Bay.
Let's find out.
What can I do for you?
You said you were having trouble receiving the transmissions.
Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda. Like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch.
Okay, so if we can stop the propaganda, that might help out. Okay, good enough for now. Let's carry on exploring round. So we've been round this part, so we're just kind of finishing this section out, and then we'll come across here. The yacht club was right there, so probably that alley is where we're going to have to go, but we'll do that once we've headed back. Ooh, speaking of alleys, grab all the stuff from back here. There's a lot of balconies in this place. We've got to be very careful with us stealing. Make sure we don't get obviously spotted by people. And this goes up. Which I am curious what's up here. Pretty curious about it. Okay, a little bit of a high perch. thought that could have been a little container over there, but I think that's, yeah, that's heading sort of out of town. Sort of, but not quite. Okay, well, rather than doing the leap across and potentially breaking our legs, let's head down relatively safely. And I'll definitely take the plasma carbine. Oh, right, this whole area is isolated. Okay, well, I guess we go back out. Well, sort of back out the way we came in. We can probably hop off to the left there. Down and down without breaking our legs. It's good. Okay, what's this? Some kind of storage lab thing. Grab all the ammo. No computers or anything for us to interact with, or at least no terminals for us to interact with. Energy cell, mag picks, more snacks. Nothing that we can grab on there. Yeah, this whole place does feel like it's falling apart. And that can be seen straight from left field betting. Okay, let's head back to the main street.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
I guess this is the Soltuna plant. What's this? Pescatological incision implement. It's a fish saw. I do like very loquaciously
Hey, Velma,
named,
I got your caffeinoid pills.
or verbosely named
You're a
items.
lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
That wasn't even
Nothing.
stealing.
Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Everyone's on caffeinoids here. Right. Hey, Velma.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Hey. Catherine said she'd run. I would love to do this, but let's err on the side of caution. Take it easy. I'm just looking around.
Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't one of Catherine's sublight toughs. My mistake. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately.
And this is what happens when everyone's
First,
on
my
caffeine
autoloader
pills.
foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your fish health manager. Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors.
Oh, that's a fine
He's a
balance.
real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
You can't cut. Yeah. Hey, well, don't you have rules about that sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit.
Yeah, there's got to be
Since you
a
don't
middle
seem to be
ground on
constrained
that.
yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something
Sure.
else on your mind?
We can do that for her. You said Braxton's been stealing drugs,
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming.
which is still
And
stealing.
yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Well, it's awfully nice of you not to say anything.
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed.
Oh my god, that would be horrible.
Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna. Fat, and mostly tumor-free.
Okay, so it's the cost of doing business. What about your foreman?
Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials. He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
Well, we could try and negotiate.
You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it?
Oh, I will
I'm
always.
joking.
Oh.
Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance.
We might be
If
able
you
to
can find a
intimidate
way to get him
him.
back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Well, we're heading to the yacht club anyway. So, yeah, who's Catherine?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
Well, I guess we'll look forward to meeting her. Let's have a quick chat
Unless
about...
you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Okay, fine. Can't get any more info. So why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple.
Alright, there's no money.
Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Thank you. I think.
Yeah, thanks for weighing
If
in,
Caleb
Max.
wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Alright, let's talk
Fine by
about
me.
something else. We don't need to get into the politics of her position. In terms of the workbench, let's have a look and see what we could potentially install or upgrade. If we go in for tinkering, it's going to cost us a lot to really work on like the shrink rate or the rifle. We will get a big damage increase from the rifle, so it's probably worth us still considering that. But the other things, maybe not so much. Captain Irian's flintlock. We could boost that up to a pretty decent damage, but we're not really going to be using it because we can't mod it for one. The rearranger, it's a higher level than the prismatic hammer. That's the downside is I would expect it to have more damage output. That being said, compared with the ultimatum, it is a much better pistol. The various bits we have on our supporting colleagues, I think we're probably going to want to swap them out for different guns at some point. But most of the stuff that we have had has already been marked as trash and gotten rid of. So the question is, do we want to spend on giving these a bit more oomph? Tactical shotgun does feel like a smart choice, but it's so expensive now. I think we might have to wait until we get a higher level base one and then tinker that up some. I'll do one on the sniper rifle, because that's a good damage increase. And in terms of armor, we could do some quick and easy mods on our helmet and stuff. It's only a small amount of money for quite the increase. I love how even the defective Moon Man one we can't really do much with. Yeah, we'll do a little bit on the main armor that we wear as well. That'll do. It's not worth us wasting the rest of the money. We've got plenty of weapon parts, so I don't think we need to break any of those down. let's carry on exploring, see what we've got. Ooh. It's like some back fish pen. I really want to crank that. I want to mess with everything. I wonder if we can shoot the birds. Stellabang Ruins. Okay, we found somewhere that we can go. Let's hop up here. No one's looking at us.
I can take a hint.
So we'll just grab all of that. What's this down here? That's just rubbish. I guess there was something in there for the stainless steel rack quest. No, we found a bloody tossball stick with a tooth embedded in it and Elijah's name on it. So this was just like unexpected. I wasn't thinking that the broken tossball stick was going to be anything more than just trash. It's just a regular worker. He's sort of looking the wrong way, but it's not worth risking it for just a bypass shunt. Back inside the plant. We've got an upstairs to here as well. Oh, it's just like a little balcony area. That's kind of cute. Hey, there's a terminal. Might be able to get some more intel and stuff. Ooh, this is... So, if we have Velma's container key, we can get past this. We need more lockpick if we're going to try and do it without it costing us stuff. So, lockpick helmet. That's trash. Let's mark that as junk now. This is higher armor than this, but this gives us plus 10 tech skills. That's dialogue skills, which we've already got. But it's dialogue and tech skills. And it's, yeah, that's our stealth armor because of the footsteps. I think this is as good as we're going to be able to get it. I really need to get some lockpicking armor, stealth skills armor. Let's reduce the number of mag picks we need down to 3.
You're a deft hand with a mag pick.
So I'll take all of this. And hey, look, that's a signed tossball poster. Sketchy low pressure suit. Another helm with goggles. Not a large amount of interesting stuff, but that did check off the check-in with Celia. Yeah. Celia, who works, should know about the status of Grimm's poster. So we've found the black hole poster that I guess it must have been confiscated. Well, I don't mind stealing from people who are obviously out for themselves. Or even people that aren't. Okay, another terminal. So personnel files. Let's hack the system and bypass. Let's have a look at B-Hecht. So Braxton Hex files are filled with Soltuna breeding charts, various pharmacological formulae, and musings on why Soltuna seem to prefer Boston beans over plain Borstwurst. Okay. And then in the messages, Braxton, the fish in tank 23A are looking a little lumpy. you're not going to make it in, that's fine, but you have to let me know so I can stay on top of the doses. And then to Nandi. Mr. Nandi, we really need to talk about the Soltuna situation. I had to let 4 batches rot in the warehouse over the last 2 months because we're not finding buyers. I know the situation with the board puts us in a tough spot, but we need to start thinking about how we're going to keep Stellar Bay afloat if we can't get sales up. And then Braxton. Braxton, seriously, where are you? You've missed 3 shifts. This is getting ridiculous, even for you. Okay, I think we're done up here in the office. Let's head back down. And into the mess hall. Is there anyone in here? No, there is not. Yoink. Steal everything that's not completely secure. Couple of bits. That was a reasonable selection of items. We don't need to sell anything other. Oh my god, this toilet is disgusting. At least the sink's relatively clean. Oh, and then I guess this is the front office. And back out into the street. Okay, so we've got a couple of things to do. Let's start off with the alley behind the yacht club and see if we can find some more info on that gang. So there's the yacht club. We'll just head on round.
No one saw me trip over that, right?
Correct. No one saw, no one cared. This looks like the gang. Let's get the shotgun out. Hey, Elijah.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley.
No, I don't think so.
Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof.
Well...
And not that it's any of your business.
I've got your tossball stick, and it's got his purple tooth in, but I'm going to go with Intimidate. I'm making it my business.
Oh, yeah? What are you saying, exactly?
You've bullied people long enough. If you know what's good for you, you'll clear out and never come back.
Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
Yeah, you better believe it's not.
What do you think you're doing?
I was stealing from you. Carry on intimidating. Whatever I
don't
want.
want any trouble out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't. Okay. Ooh. Repeatedly getting caught by guards has made you jittery. Doubly so when roaming around restricted areas. So, that would give personality attributes -1, which is not really worth it for us. I'll reject that. Sublight reputation's gone down a little bit by getting caught doing that. May be slightly problematic. Oh, it's only 1%. That's not too bad. Okay, so next up, let's head back to the docking bay and hand in the poster. It was over this way, I think.
Smells like wrapped in here.
Nope, I've got turned completely around. It's left at the end. Hey, Grim. Guess what?
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
Here it is.
Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker, too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Ah, thanks. I appreciate it. That was a decent amount of money. A decent amount of XP as well. Okay, so with our 10 points available, I think I want to keep putting up our lockpick. And probably keep putting up our intimidate. Maybe... yeah. Let's put our previous helmet back on. Because you never know when you're going to hit trouble. So if our lockpick is 65... ooh. We can get this all the way up to 100. There's some really interesting ability stuff down the line. Okay. So we'll put 5 in here, and I think 5 more in Intimidate. In fact, no, we should try and keep our dialogue options roughly even. Let's put up Persuade. So at the very least, that's 55, and we'll do a little bit in Science as well. Let's apply that. We don't have any perks to work on. So then we need to go and talk to Sanjar about Isaac's murder now that we've dealt with the gang. And we could pop to Braxton's apartment. Let's pop to Braxton's apartment before we go and hand in the passion pills. In fact, let's do it this way. Just to help with the navigation. Pretty certain these are the same apartment. Yeah, they're the same apartments from before. So
what's that smell coming out of Celia's
this
apartment?
is the upstairs one. Okay, can we have a chat with the one who always gets startled then?
You again! You've really got to stop doing that!
Hey Laura, have you seen Braxton?
Braxton? I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Dilated pupils, anxious posture, muscle spasms. She's high on some quality stuff.
No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know?
Okay, so you came here to loot. Where is he?
Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Okay, gives us an idea. That's all I needed.
We're in agreement that this Braxton is probably dead, right?
Yeah. Max, you are saying it exactly as it is. That is spot on. Let's get ourselves a guide. Because if heading outside the walls...
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one?
No.
Really?
No thanks, Max. Really not the time for it.
I wonder sometimes what they're
Okay,
doing.
here's the
The
caffeinoids.
charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business?
Business.
All of the above?
I've got your magic pills. These things are dangerous.
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See? I'm glad someone on your crew's got some sensible, got her head on straight. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
All right, okay.
That was fast. I gotta see about stocking some on the ship.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful employment.
No. Not looking for company on the road. Just tell me how to reach the information broker.
Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak.
Okay, useful
It's
intel.
south and west. Mostly follow the road till you're past Fallbrook, then look for caverns in the mountain. If you ain't into spelunking, there's a western slope past Rotting River, but it's dangerous ground. A lot of things that'll want to eat you there. Good luck.
Well, we'll probably go both directions so we can clear out as much as possible, because it's all extra XP. But that is going to have to be next time. So, thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. As always, if you have, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of The Outer Worlds. See you soon.